wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We give praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has made us witness today again. Beseech him to shower his blessing and his mercy on his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companion, his relatives, and those who follow the virtuous teaching to the day of accountability. Today we'll be discussing a very vital topic, which is al-mujahada nafs. That means striving in the cause of Almighty Allah. When you say mujahada, what does it imply? As we said, striving. It is very pertinent that it is unarguable. It's not what we can dispute. That life is all about challenge. It's all about struggle. Allah said that we have made man, we have created man to struggle, to face challenge in life. So therefore, striving is part of the human nature. But this striving we're talking about is so essential that it's of twofold. We strive in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also strive in the cause of fulfilling our livelihood. But as a Muslim, two of them, the two strivings, will be act of worship for you, in as much as you have the intention to serve Allah, your creator, your Lord. And if you know that this striving we're talking about is so essential that we strive with our minds, we strive with our hearts, with our body. If we strive only with the body and the mind, the soul is not involved, the striving might not be formidable, because it has to do with the combination of the body and soul. The body and the soul must actively take part in it. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-Ankabut verse 29 that Allah jahadu fina, whoever strive in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we shall open way for such person. The person shall see breakthrough. Because the striving is of two ways. Some people strive in the way of Allah, some people strive in the way of shaitan. Those who believe strive in the way of Allah, and those who, the unbelievers, strive in the way of shaitan, in the way of shayateen. That's the faculty of shaitan. In the case of shaitan, but you must strive against the forces of devil. So therefore, if you're talking about striving, it's something we can do away with. To put food in your mouth, you must strive. To become successful in life, you must strive. To have a fulfilled life, you must struggle. It doesn't come with sliver. Nobody's born with sliver in the mouth or sliver spoon. You must struggle to achieve in life. That is what Islam is emphasizing for you. So that this striving we're talking about, there are certain key things that will not allow you to achieve this striving. One, your soul. The soul might not allow you to achieve it. Number two, shaitan. Number three, your environment. What do I mean by the environment? These worldly affairs may not allow you to achieve it. Number four, the people that you live with within your environment. How do I mean by this? That is why it's so key and so genuine that the first point of struggle is against your soul. Because you want to struggle against evils. You want to struggle against vices. You want to struggle against a lot of unruly attitude, which are very nature of the soul. Look at what Yusuf. Prophet Yusuf said in that surah, chapter 12, he said, Wama ubaru nafs. In the nafs I call the amar of suhi. He said, I am not exonerated from the influence of soul. Very the soul command evils. That is why the scholar divided the soul into three categories. We have the soul referred to be as a nafsul mutma'inna, a pure soul, the soul that will command you to do good. The second one is an-nafsul lawama, the soul that will always commit vices, but the soul will strive between doing good and evils. It's not that balance. At times the soul will tilt towards vices, towards committing evils. At times it's going to tilt towards, committing virtue. The last one is an-nafsul amar bisuhi. That is the defiled soul. The soul that is so defiled, that is so corruptible, that doesn't recognize anything good. It commits evils all the time. Where do you belong to, my brother? Which category? Do you belong to the first or the second or third category? And it's when you identify that your soul, and this soul they're talking about is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will consider if your deeds, your action will be given reward, will be acceptable or not. You have to strive against your soul. And that is why we have some act of worship that are performed with soul. We have some act of worship that are performed with physical composture. For example, if I do salah, I use my body to perform salah. But if I want to do what we call asabr, patience is not something feasible. Ashidiku, truthfulness, it's not something feasible. Al-amana, trust, is not something feasible. It has to do with the soul. It now depends on the way you nurture your soul. The way you nurture your soul will determine the level at which you will be able to, excellently display good virtue when it comes to deeds that has to do with metaphysical affairs, spiritual affairs, and which will boils down to affect your physical affairs as well. If your soul is not okay, if it's not well balanced, it will affect your physical act of worship, like your salah. Your salah will not be normal. Your fasting will be abnormal because you are not spiritually balanced. You are not spiritually well nurtured. So it's very essential for you as a Muslim to maintain balance between your physical and spiritual aspect of your life. So how do you purify our soul? How do you do mujahada against our soul? Everything, all acts of worship that will add value to your soul, you must do them. By fasting, Allah asks you to fast, you must fast. Allah asks you to pray, you must pray. Allah asks you to keep vigil, you must keep vigil. Allah asks you to avoid telling lies, you must avoid telling lies. What He asks you to do, you uphold them. What He forbids you, you do it from them. These are things that will always add value to your spiritual life. And secondly, like we said, the soul. And the soul can improve from the lowest level to the middle one to the uppermost. It depends the way you manage it. That is why Allah said that you can purify your soul with tilawat al-Quran, reading Quran, reflecting over it, wa dhikrul maut, and remembrance of death. That one day you will leave this earth. When you remember that, your soul will tremble, and you'll be in the gathering of the righteous one. This is what we add value to your soul, and we enable you to strive very well. And secondly, that we mentioned, we've talked about the spiritual aspect, the physical aspect, things that we debar you from striving. The first one is your soul. The second one is a shaitan, devil. Devil will never allow you to do the needful. Will never allow you to follow Allah's injunction. But as a Muslim, once you know that you have an enemy, Allah said, "Inna shaitan aduwwun lakum fattakhidhu aduwwa." Allah said, "Verily, shaitan is your enemy. You must take him as your hardened enemy." You must take him as enemy. When you take shaitan as enemy, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah chapter 49 that what they call shaitan al-insan, ikfur. Shaitan will come to man, will whisper in his heart, tell him, ikfur. Negate Allah's injunction. We tell him, ikfur. Disobey Allah. Don't follow Allah. Falama kafaro. But when man listen to him, shaitan will say, inni bari'u minka inna qafla. We say, I'm not to be blameful. I'm not blameful, not to be blamed. I only instruct you and you follow me. So you have the liberty to say no to me. That is why in Islam, a Muslim must be conscious of the influence of shaitan. Because shaitan will come in different dimensions. Allah said, "Inna al-jinnata wan-nas." We have shaitan among human beings. We have them among jinns. They will always want to influence human beings. So as a Muslim, you take shaitan as your enemy. Look at what shaitan did to our forefather Adam and his wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them in a high, prominent position in Jannah. But what did he do to them? He confused them, he misled them, and made them to disobey Allah. And they were debased. That's why Allah said, do not follow shaitan. It's your enemy. Everything you do, you must be aware of his influence. So one of the key things you do to do it from him is, you say, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." You must always fast. For instance, Brother Muhammad said that shaitan run through every human being's vein, your blood. He said the way you can punish him with what? With hunger, with fasting. When you do fasting, then you punish him. You can punish him with reading of Quran. You can punish him with going with friends that are godly. The last one is this dunya, this heart. As a Muslim, this heart, this life we have is also an avenue that we draw man away from remembering Allah. Allah said, "Oh mankind, let the dunya, do not allow this life to chase you away from Allah's remembrance." That is why a Muslim must put this life in his palm, not in his heart. You put Allah's love in your heart, you put this life in your palm, because anytime you die, you drop it. But today, what do? We put Allah's injunction in our hand, on our palm, and we place the heart in our mind, and we are being disturbed. That is why most people today die of a lot of sickness, depression, hypertension. Because when any small thing happens to you, because you have placed the life in your heart, you don't place the love of Allah in your heart, instead of having issue. So therefore, as a Muslim, you should know that the key thing is mujahada. You must strive against evils. So this is where we are going to stop for today. We're going to continue with this topic at our next episode of Mujahada, for you to know how do you strive as a Muslim, how do you accomplish good deeds and maximize Allah's reward through striving and pave way for yourself. وأقول قولي هذا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.